Hey, welcome to Socialism for All. This file is being recorded for the January 2021 edition of Socialism for All, and this is an audio file of Malcolm X speaking about ending police brutality. Of course, racist police brutality, police violence was rampant in Malcolm X's time, as it is still rampant today. Here is some background biographical information on Malcolm X, and then we'll play the speech itself. Malcolm X was born Malcolm Little in Omaha, Nebraska, USA in 1925. His father died in a car crash when Malcolm was 6, and his mother was institutionalized following a nervous breakdown when he was 12. Malcolm and his siblings were split up and placed in foster care, and although he excelled in school and wanted to become a lawyer, he was discouraged by teachers on the basis of his being black. He dropped out, turned to crime, and was caught at the age of 20, sent to prison for a number of years, and there he became involved with the Nation of Islam organization. From the early 1950s, the FBI monitored Malcolm's activities, including his rapid ascent through the Nation of Islam organization following his parole in 1952. In 1964, following a conflict with Nation of Islam leader Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm, or Malik el-Shabazz as he also was known, left the organization, founded two organizations of his own, Muslim Mosque Incorporated and the Organization of Afro-American Unity, and embarked on a world tour in which he met with leaders of political movements interested in black empowerment and resistance to U.S. imperialism. Although Malcolm wasn't a Marxist, during this last year of his life, he was moving further and further away from the Nation of Islam's views, some of which he later felt to be destructively divisive, and was expressing more sympathies to socialism as a new social and economic model for oppressed people to take up to free themselves. Unfortunately, on February 21, 1965, as he was preparing to address a meeting of the Organization of Afro-American Unity, he was shot and killed by a man who rushed the stage. Malcolm was only 39 years old when he died and was just beginning to come into his own as a leader. He was a very intelligent and charismatic person. We can't know for sure what his life and legacy would have been like had he lived to a natural death. Another 40 years would have probably lived into the 21st century. But we can look to something like the Black Panther Party, which was founded just a few years later, as probably a logical extension of the type of work that he was doing. Anyway, here is the speech, which is taken from that last year of his life.
We want an immediate end to the police brutality and mob attacks against the so-called Negroes throughout the United States. Yes, a complete end to the police brutality and mob attacks that our people are confronted by every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year across the land. Brother, show me those. You got those pictures? Brother, grab that picture of Brother Ronald. Let me show you what I mean by police brutality and mob attacks. Come over here with that. Here is a man, a Korean vet. This is a black man, a Korean vet. Went to war in Korea fighting for America. Risked his life fighting for America. And came back to this country and was shot down by the white man like a dog. Not some Ku Klux Klansman down in Mississippi. This black man was shot through the heart by policemen in Los Angeles, California. And they are dumb enough to think we have forgotten it. Well, Muslims never forget. You don't kill our brother. We don't never forget. You don't shoot one of us and then grin in our face. You don't shoot one of us and then shake our hands and think we forget it. No, we never forget. We'll never forget. Someone has to pay. Somewhere, somehow, someone has to pay. When a snake bites your children, you don't go and look for the snake that has blood on his jaws. Any old snake will do. Any old snake will do. They shot him through the heart. And as he lay dying on the sidewalk, they beat that hole in his head with police clubs. Not in Mississippi, but in Los Angeles, California. Not in the South, right there in the North, in the West. Here it shows men, black men, laying all over the sidewalk, shot down by police bullets. Not men who were guilty of some crime, not men who were drunk, not men who attacked anyone, but they shot their way into our mosque, shot their way into our religious sanctuary and got the audacity to walk around here talking about this is a country based upon the principles of freedom of religion and freedom of worship and freedom of speech. This country is based upon nothing but hypocrisy, and is based upon nothing but the right of white people to mutilate and shoot down black people. This is the brutality that we're talking about. This is the crime that we're talking about. And you say we teach hate. What kind of hate are we teaching? We're telling you what happens to black people. And this man didn't get shot down because he was a Muslim. They didn't ask him what his religion was. They saw that he was black and they began to fire point blank. And then when they went to court, these Gestapo, they were the criminals. They didn't go to court. They charged him. He's a dead man. And they charged him with a crime. But these Negroes here, shot down, were charged with a crime. And you haven't heard anybody open their mouth about it. You wonder why you're having trouble in this country. You're having trouble because the devil is on the rampage. A blue-eyed devil is on the rampage. A heartless devil is on the rampage. A beast is on the rampage. And you haven't got sense enough to know how to handle him. So we don't try and handle him. God is going to handle him. We ask God to give him justice. We ask God to trap him. We ask God to catch him. We ask God to deal with him. And we pray that God deals with more of them day after day. And what ones God don't get, we'll get them. For 8 weeks in Los Angeles, 14 so-called Negroes set on trial, charged by the police with assault, charged by the police with intent to commit murder. You haven't read anything about it in the paper. You haven't seen anything about it and heard anything about it from these blue-eyed white so-called liberals. They quieted it down. They hushed it up. And none of the Negro leaders opened up their mouths during the trial. They were silent while they had a rally of 35,000 Negroes in one of those Wrigley Field in Los Angeles, while the all-white jury was in session. And not one of them came forth and mentioned what had happened to those 14 Negroes in that city. And they wonder why things are developing to what they are today. No, you don't get justice in court. A black man can't get justice in court. A black man can't get justice in the court system of America. And I'm telling you, the only way you get justice is in the street. The only way you get justice is in the sidewalk. The only way you get justice is when you make justice for yourself. You never will get justice in the white man's court. No, not me. I never want him to take me to court. I saw what he did with my brothers. I see what he has done with them right here in New York City. So make sure you obey the law. Make sure you never commit a crime. Make sure you never deviate from the law. But any time one of them puts his hands on you, take him off the planet. Take him off the planet. Sir? Yes. They're going to have a funeral in Harlem. Make sure they have a funeral downtown, too. 2 funerals at the same time. We want peace. We want justice. We want respect. We want to carry ourselves with dignity. But we don't want to walk around here in a police state giving people the right to think that they can take our life or break our limb or bust our head. And that's all that's going to happen from it. So I'm telling you, don't you ever expect justice in America. No, I'll tell you that if the man locked me up in the morning, don't expect any justice. And when our brothers, Rikers Island, city prison, filled with Negroes who become Muslims, want to stop drinking, want to stop smoking, want to pull the needle out of their arm, you think that blue-eyed thing out there will help them? No. He puts them in solitary confinement because they want to be Muslim. I'm telling you what Mayor Wagner does and what Governor Rockefeller does. That they're a race of devils. And I pray that God will strike them. Yes, I pray that God will strike them. Put death in their family, death on their relatives, and death on their friends. I pray that God will bring that on them. Yes, I pray that God will strike them with death and disease and destruction and misery and grief because they have put it on us. And when God gives it to them, no one can say that God is unjust. God is just. We want an immediate end to the police brutality and mob attacks against the so-called Negroes throughout the United States. We believe that the federal government should intercede to see that black men and women tried in white courts receive justice in accordance with the law of the land, or allow us to build a new nation for ourselves.
And that's the video. Thanks to our current patrons whose names are on the screen. If you'd like to get your name on the screen or just support us financially, you can go to patreon.com/socialism4all and sign up for a monthly donation. You can also follow us at facebook.com/socialism4all. Used to have a page at FOR all, and it got throttled to death by Zuck. Here on YouTube, please click the like button, subscribe button, and the notifications bell. Please leave a comment if you can, and please share our video wherever you're online, your Twitter feed, your Discord servers, Reddit subs, etc. All of that helps more people to see this content, whether it's in the YouTube algorithm or just posting it on other sites. All of that's helpful. All of you out there supporting and promoting this content makes it all go that much more smoothly. We need to end capitalism, normalize talking about socialism today, and it's really kind of our only hope for a better tomorrow. Thanks for all you do, and we will catch you in the next video.